The wait is almost over. The madness is back, and all eyes are on the state of Indiana. The NCAA tournament played out in a way we have never seen before.
There's more to Indiana than just corn.
We got it all covered.
We've been under the umbrella of COVID now for almost a year.
COVID is not going to ruin this party. The impact the tournament will have on our economy, our restaurants, our bars, our hotels, our university. The big names you have come to know and trust are right here. Coach Matt Painter, the legend Gene Katie.
It's about Purdue having a great basketball program.
The players. It's time for Hoops in the Heartland.
It's time for News 18's NCAA Tournament Special, Hoops in the Heartland. News 18, sports from where you live.
You are looking live at Mackey Arena, the site of WLFI's special Hoops in the Heartland. Take it home, baby.
As for Purdue, the Boilermakers travel down to Indianapolis this morning for its first round matchup with North Texas. Sports 18's Dakota Simon joins us now with more on the matchup from Lucas Oil Stadium. Dakota?
Yeah, hey there, Andy. This is a pretty good North Texas team that Purdue's going to face in the first round of this 2021 NCAA tournament. The Mean Green have shown constant improvement under four-year head coach Grant McCaslin down there in Denton, Texas. The Mean Green, 17-9 this season, and as you mentioned, the champions out of Conference USA. Now, Purdue head coach Matt Painter said admittedly he knew nothing about North Texas, who beat Western Kentucky in its conference championship game in overtime to receive its automatic bid. And while Painter doesn't know much about the team itself, he does know McCaslin has a lot of respect for his coaching pedigree and the way his team plays. And the Mean Green are led by Javion Hamlet, who pours in 15 points a game to go along with 4.5 assists. Of course, there are no bad teams when you get to this point in the college basketball season. Here's Painter on North Texas and what it will be like to be the only team from the state of Indiana in this year's unique NCAA tournament.
Guys are going to play hard. Guys are going to defend. I promise you that on both of those accounts. Like he's a really good basketball coach. And, he'll have those guys ready. And, they won't beat themselves, and they'll play hard, and they'll defend. It'll be a tough game. And I haven't even watched him play, but it'll be a tough game. Like he's that good of a coach. I think it's pride of just trying to get, the team you're coaching, your alma mater, in the NCAA tournament. Because, we have such a great following at Purdue. And then obviously, the state of Indiana's, the basketball fans across the board, it's pretty nuts.
And so the madness begins. 7:25 p.m. here on Friday night. Purdue will take on North Texas at the Oil Can, Lucas Oil Stadium here right behind me in downtown Indianapolis. Andy, we'll send it back to you at Mackey Arena.
All right, welcome back. Indianapolis is preparing to welcome fans from all over the country, even those without tickets. Sports 18's JD Arlen joins us again from the Circle City with more on how it's setting up for a socially distant March Madness. Hey again, JD.
Hey there, Andy. I'm here on Georgia Street, which is in the shadow of Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Indiana Sports Corp is in charge of setting up streets just like this one for the March Madness festivities. That won't be easy, especially amid the pandemic, when potentially tens of thousands of college basketball fans converge in Indianapolis, many without tickets.
Plays like that won't be the only action in Indy this March. Off the court, the city's preparing to welcome fans from all over the country, some assembly required.
With more than $900,000 in grant money from Lilly Endowment, Indiana Sports Corp hopes to make downtown Indianapolis an outdoor, walkable festival.
We're hiring more than 300 artists and musicians to really beautify downtown. So we are going to have pop-up musical acts throughout the city. So you could just be casually walking down Monument Circle and there's a violin player and a singer, or you could be heading down Georgia Street and get to hear the local sounds of many musicians throughout the city.
Most of that's still being built, but even when it's done, fans still won't be able to gather in large groups to watch games in Marion County. Instead, head over to Indy's bars and restaurants.
We don't want to promote any events that have large gatherings. However, there are plenty of bars and restaurants that are following all those health and safety protocols where you can belly up to and watch a game.
So even if you don't have a ticket to this year's tournament, think about making a trip south.
If people don't come downtown from our neighboring counties, that would be a little sad, because we want them to also feel the pride and the joy that we're feeling.
All this setup will be complete by Thursday. That's when the live music and art displays will be ready for fans to enjoy. If you're looking for outdoor seating downtown, look no further than the bars and restaurants outside of each of the 4 downtown venues. That's all I've got from Indianapolis. Reporting from the Circle City, JD Arlen, Sports 18. Back to you.
Okay, welcome back. If you have tickets to tournament games at Mackey Arena, consider yourself pretty darn lucky. Only 1,400 people are allowed for each game to give us a fan's perspective of what things are like inside this venue. We now welcome in Tom Moreland, Purdue's Associate Athletic Director for Strategic Initiatives. Tom, I'm looking behind me right now, and this just, it's taking some time to getting used to.
Yep.
But it looks fantastic. So what is being done right now in Mackey Arena to get this thing ready for the tournament?
Well, Andy, first, thanks for having me. As far as our preparations, it's really a collective effort. It's everybody a part of the Purdue family, but also the Purdue athletic staff. So people are working hard. You have our facility staff setting up the venue, our event management staff, working with the NCAA, the local Board of Health, and really just trying to provide a safe and secure event. But really, Andy, we want people to love coming to Mackey Arena. It truly is one of those iconic college basketball venues. Now, especially when we have 14,804 people, the metal roof, the metal bleachers, you got the paint crew, it's sold out. There really isn't a better game day experience. So we're trying to do everything we can to have that for the first 4 and the first round, because these student athletes that are in the tournament, that are in the bubble, they've absolutely been dedicated all year long. So we want to make sure they have a great student athlete experience. We want to make sure that the fans enjoy it as well.
What are the safety protocols for those fans who will be coming to the games?
Yeah, so the most obvious one, you're going to have to wear a mask.
Sure.
As you noted, the attendance, so it'll be right about 1,400 people as opposed to our normal 14,000 people. So you're going to be spread out. You're going to have a mask on. We have a full sanitization crew. You're going to enter and exit a little bit differently. But you know, Andy, these are some of the things that people are starting to really just kind of become accustomed to, but they see this as the next logical step of coming back to live events.
Welcome back to Hoops in the Heartland. We have a very special guest with us here at Mackey Arena. Tim House, Senior Associate Athletic Director, is here to talk about the big plans for the John Purdue Club. Tim, thanks so much for taking the time to join me here. What is the future of the John Purdue Club as the COVID situation evolves day in and day out?
Thanks, Andrew, for having me. Who has a better job than me? I'm sitting here at March Madness in Mackey Arena talking to you about sports. But our future is, I think, an exciting one. You know, to be quite honest with you, this year's been very difficult. I think everyone knows there's been financial ramifications and all sorts of health ramifications associated with our athletics department. We are still fighting through that. We're still trying to raise money to help navigate the tumultuous times we're going through. But I think what drives us is the excitement that exists on the back end of it. You know, I think this basketball program is a catalyst for an entire department. I think, you know, when you go Sweet 16, Elite 8, and now you're back here again in contention and doing some of the things we're doing, you don't just have a good team, you have a great program and something that we can build off of and capitalize off of. We have a lot of momentum behind. So we just want to make sure that we're doing all that we can to maximize this opportunity and time to provide the resources. Not only this program needs to be great, but that all of our programs need to reach this level that we're at with basketball and even beyond where we aspire to go.
Purdue, the only team from the state of Indiana to play in the NCAA tournament held in the state of Indiana. What is the biggest challenge for you when it comes to fundraising right now? You know, right now it's tough because getting in front of people is harder than it's ever been before. It's starting to get easier with the vaccine coming out. And I tell you, last week we were at the Big Ten tournament, and that was the first time in quite some time that we had gotten to host fans at a game. And that just invigorated me personally, and I think our staff. But those are such meaningful touch points. They remind you of why we do this, right? Like, we're a community gathering space. We are a reason for people in Lafayette, Greater Lafayette. Thanks so much for watching Hoops in the Heartland. Just a reminder to check out the times for all tournament games. Head to our website, WLFI.com, and we will leave you with one last look at Purdue Pete. We'll see you tonight at 11.